If you're running talent acquisition at a company that's hiring in volume, you already know where the bottleneck is. Greenhouse's 2026 benchmark report says that applications landing on a single recruiter went from 146 a year to 746. That's a 400% increase with no 400% increase in recruiters. Do the math on phone screening those. 746 screens at 30 minutes each is 9 working weeks of nothing but calls for one recruiter in 1 year. Nobody does that. What happens instead is you screen the top of the pile, filter the rest on a resume, and a lot of great candidates never hear back at all. Hi, I'm Cooper from Puck, and I'm here to tell you about a better way to handle high-volume hiring and candidate assessment. Puck's AI Recruiter changes the math. 300 candidates can be on the phone at the same time, 2 in the afternoon, 11 at night, on their break, in whatever language they're most comfortable in, and nothing lands on your team's calendar. What's an AI Recruiter? Broadly, it's software that uses machine learning and natural language processing to do the early screening work a person would otherwise do. Reading resumes, running chat or voice interviews, and ranking applicants. Some tools in this category go further. They'll score a candidate and reject them automatically with nobody ever reading the result. Ours won't. Puck's AI Recruiter runs that first screening stage for you. It calls the candidate, asks your questions, follows up on what they actually say, and hands your team a summary, a recording, a full transcript, and a structured evaluation based on the categories you choose. Here's the part that matters. It doesn't replace anybody's judgment. It clears the bottleneck so your team's hours go to the candidates who earned them. A person still analyzes the results and makes the call. Let's dive deeper into the specifics of Puck's AI Recruiter. It is a phone call that starts your candidate assessment journey, a real two-way conversation. The AI listens to what the candidate actually says and follows up on it. There's no camera, and not as a setting you could switch off. There's no path in Puck that puts a candidate on video. Audio only is the product. There's no countdown timer, no app to download, and there's nothing to schedule. The candidate gets a text, taps a link, and talks. 5 to 10 minutes roughly, whenever it works best for them. Puck evaluates the call, gives the candidates a score based on your criteria, shows its reasoning, and then it stops. Your team decides who continues after that. Vivrelle ran 12 open roles this way. Warehouse operations to corporate roles, side by side. 317 people got a Puck AI phone screen, but instead of the usual 30 minutes per candidate, the recruiters only spent about 3.5 minutes on each, for an estimated 18 hours or so of team review time. That's an 88% cut. And since they actually reviewed at 1.5 times speed, and clear to clients don't actually need a full listen, the real number was probably even lower. Doing that by hand would have been a month of work, which is another way of saying it wouldn't have happened at all. Caitlin, their VP of HR and Talent, told us that some of her favorite candidates this year would never have made it past her resume screen. Puck let them meet more people than the team had hours for, and the candidates told them it was a good experience. That's the whole case for this. It widens your top of funnel because you can screen as many people as you want without scheduling a single call. And it gives your recruiters their hours back for the candidates who earned a closer look. One more thing, and it's the piece no other screening tool has. Puck also makes your employer branding content, career sites, job pages, and branded mini podcasts with your actual employees talking. So by the time someone picks up this call, they've already learned and heard from the team they'd be joining. Skim saw 83% more inbound hires in the first 90 days doing this, and candidate quality went up 28%, just from using our employer branding tools. So let's build a Puck AI Recruiter interview. From AI interviews, hit New Interview, name it, then point it at the role. Puck pulls your open job straight out of your ATS. We integrate natively with Greenhouse, Lever, Ashby, Pinpoint, and others, or you could use our own Lightweight ATS. You can paste a job description in directly as well. From there, Puck's AI reads the job and writes your question. These are drafts, not decisions. Edit any of them, drag to reorder, delete what doesn't fit, and add your own. Whatever fits your needs best. Next, evaluation categories. Same idea. Puck suggests them off the roll. This is what every candidate gets scored against. Same questions and the same criteria. Then we move over to settings. Web plus phone lets candidates take it however they want. Web only is there for international candidates. And then you could choose a speaking voice for the AI recruiter and ask for a resume upload if you want one on file. And this last box is doing a lot of quiet work. Inviting someone kicks off the whole sequence, the invite, up to 2 reminders, and a confirmation when they're done. That's the follow-up nobody on your team has to remember anymore. Hit create interview, and it's live. Now, who gets invited? You've got options. Applicant Match within our Lightweight ATS ranks your inbound applicants by fit, so you can work top-down. Or, if your ATS already has filtering your team trusts, you can use that. Candidate data flows both directions with our ATS integrations. Or, and this is the one I'd push you on, invite all of them. That sounds expensive, but it really isn't. It's a 3 to 5 minute conversation that runs by itself at any hour in parallel. And it's worth thinking about what a resume filter is actually costing you. A resume tells you how good somebody is at just writing a resume. Given how easily they get fluffed nowadays, the most accurate way to evaluate somebody is to let them speak for themselves. Okay, on to the big next step. Nothing. You're out of the loop for a second, which is the whole point. This is where Puck's AI recruiter steps in to handle the screening and the evaluation for you. The candidate gets a text or an email. They tap the link to have a phone call, or they take it right there in the browser. It opens with an introduction, works through your questions, and follows up when an answer is thin or when it's interesting. 5 to 10 minutes and they're done. No account, no download, no calendar invite, and no camera. They can do it on a lunch break, after a shift, 10 at night once the kids are asleep. No video and nothing to schedule is why candidates actually finish these. We generally see completion rates around 70%, and they stay consistent across very different role types. Results land here in your dashboard as they come in. Every candidate gets an overall score wheel, weighed across the categories you set, plus a breakdown with reasoning on each one. Sort by score, filter down to what still needs review, or see where your team's already weighed in. Open one up to listen to the recording and review the finer details. It's chaptered by question, so you can jump straight to the answer you care about. You can read the full transcript or search it by keyword, or just simply skim the summary and move on. Over here is the evaluation, strong, fair, or weak on each category. And next to every rating, the AI's reasoning for it, not a score out of a black box. An argument you can agree or disagree with. And you can disagree. You could change any rating, then your team adds their own score and their own notes, kept separate from the AI's score, so you can see whether the two line up. From there, it's a human call, and it always is. Puck doesn't auto-reject anybody. The AI recruiter is built for round 1, the qualification conversation, at a scale you were never going to be able to staff. So by the time you're picking who moves forward, you're choosing between people who you've actually heard from, not resumes you've skimmed or filtered. That's when your recruiters get on a live call, and it's a much better use of that half hour. So what does all that do to your funnel? In a field experiment that randomly assigned 70,000 job applicants to either a human recruiter or an AI voice agent, the candidates interviewed by AI were 12% more likely to get an offer, and they stayed at higher rates, with no drop-off in productivity once they were hired. And when a third group was given the choice between the two screening options, 78% picked the AI interview. So if you run one of these, here's what's different in 90 days. Your recruiters aren't spending their whole week on first calls. Your hiring managers get the same structured read on every candidate, instead of whatever made it into somebody's notes. And you're making decisions about people you've heard, not people you've skimmed. And that's a look at Puck's AI recruiter, a real conversation with every candidate, and a human on the end of every decision. Visit careerpuck.com to book a demo, or try an AI recruiter interview for free at careerpuck.com/AI-recruiter-demo, and hear how it feels for yourself. Find your people with Puck.